Hi, everyone. Thanks for being on a little bit early. We're going to wait another 1 to 2 minutes. We had a lot of people register, so we're going to give them some time to file in. During this webinar, you'll be able to see and hear the MIRATECH team, but no one else can see or hear you. So just settle in, get comfortable. No one's looking at you, but you can see us. So we're going to go on mute here for another minute or two and let everyone file in. If you're just joining, we're going to give it another 1 minute to let people join us. But again, you're on the MIRATECH Global Webinar Series, who we are and what we do. It's our company overview. You will not be seen or be heard, but you can see and hear the MIRATECH team. So we'll give it another 30 to 60 seconds before we do some introductions and get started. Thanks for being on. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, a really nice turnout today. We thank you all, our customers and our industry partners, for being with us today. It is Thursday, July the 16th. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hope it's sunny wherever you are. Here's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to take a few minutes to give an intro and a welcome of our presenters. My name's Chase Heyman. I'm responsible for marketing at MIRATECH Corporation. Excited to be the moderator for this great panel that we have. Again, I've said it a couple times, I'll say it one more time. You can see and hear the MIRATECH team, but we won't be able to see or hear you. That was requested by some of our customers to request and respect their privacy and confidentiality of joining a webinar. But if you do have questions, we want you to know that you can contact your MIRATECH representative. We hope that you know who he or she is. You can also write directly to info@miratechcorp.com and we'll put you in touch with our team. Or you can write to me directly. You'll have my email following this as a wrap up. You also should have got it in the reminder, so you can write directly to me. Or you can type it into the Q&A pane, but we can't guarantee that we'll have time to take your questions now, but I will get back to you afterwards because we're going to be running, we project right at our 45-minute timeline. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and let me introduce you to our great, experienced global panel here. So going right to left on these pictures, we have Scott McBride. So he's based in Southern California. He is our international sales manager for Asia and Latin American markets. He also covers power generation in the West Coast United States. We have Stefan Nataf. He is based in Milan, Italy. And Stefan is our sales director for Europe and the Middle East, and he will be our final speaker in today's presentation. And we have Nick Dieter, who is our division sales manager for power generation for the North American market. Nick brings 2 decades of experience, and he is based, like me, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So without any further ado, I'm going to go on mute, and we're going to hand it over to Nick.
All right, thanks, Chase. Thank you, everybody, for being on the call today. Excuse me. We're going to go through a brief company overview of, kind of our footprint globally, who we are, kind of what we do in very broad strokes, and then wrap up kind of some of our markets that we work in, and then hand it off to Scott and Stefan to talk about products and services. So let's take it away. We were started in 1992 here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Originally, we were making catalytic converters for gas compression and power gen markets, and over the years expanded into more and more items in the engine exhaust system. So as time went by, we've developed engine silencers, other emission control systems like SCR systems, heat recovery systems, as well as a full field service aftermarket support team, catalyst testing, R&D. We've grown quite a bit and expanded our reach quite a bit over the last 28 years. So our brands that make up the business, of course, MIRATECH is our core emissions brand since '92, since we started. Our other lines are the EM products and the Cowell brand of silencers. EM and Cowell have both been around since the early '70s, late '60s. Well-respected silencer products. Vapor Phase is our waste heat recovery silencer line. Vapor Phase is another long and storied history. Been around since the early '60s and really has a good reputation in the natural gas and diesel engine market for heat recovery. Our catalyst manufacturing arm is Emirachem out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Emirachem, like MIRATECH, has been around for almost 30 years, making catalysts for engines as well as specialty catalysts for process applications. And then our newest addition is AirSonic out of Synthal, Germany. Stefan will talk more about them later in the presentation, but AirSonic is another company about the same age as MIRATECH in the catalyst and silencer business. So looking at our footprint, we're obviously heavy in North America. We do have, with AirSonic, we have manufacturing and sales offices in Europe and a number of agents around the country. That can offer not only sales support, but also after sale product support. So one of the things that we think of that makes us unique is the engineering prowess and partnership that we make with our customers. So we bring to bear a portfolio of products and tools that we can work with the customer on to solve their exhaust system problems, or whether that be acoustics or emissions, packaging. Our manufacturing and engineering capabilities to back that up, along with the R&D work that we put into it, give us a lot of tools that we can bring to the party to help our customers, and that only makes it easier for customers to work with us and know that they can come to us for the solutions that they need. Leading into research and development. That's a big part of our operation here. So we work on custom catalyst formulations at our Knoxville facility. Those can be something brand new to attack a new problem, or it could be optimizing our existing products to make them work better or improve their longevity. Whenever we do that, we test these things in test bench reactors in Knoxville, and once we're get through those initial steps, we test systems on engines here in Tulsa. Whether it's testing a catalyst or a control system or a monitoring system, we want to get that engine back, that engine history, to know that that the systems are going to work the way we think they're going to work on paper, and prove out that the function is as good or better than we designed. It's also a great way for us to try to break something and to see how easy or hard it is to break it, and then how do you fix it. And then how do you fix it so it doesn't break next time. advantage of our R&D and product development piece. So after all that product development is done, that engineering group hands off a lot of tools and application guidelines to our application and project engineers. And they take that groundwork that's done and assemble the tools, use those tools to come up with solutions for customer-specific applications, whether it's emissions or, as I said, acoustics, or a combination of all of the above. And then how do they package that to fit the customer's space constraints? Because there's always space constraints. So you have to, if you have all the space in the world, it's easy. It's making everything fit into the allotted footprint is the challenge. Our manufacturing facilities are quite spread around the globe. Right now, most of it in North America. In Tulsa, at our headquarters here, we besides engineering and administration, we manufacture the bulk of our catalyst housings, all of our SCR systems, diesel particulate filters, as well as control systems and system integration. Our facility in Prior Lake is where we build silencers and accessories under the EM brand. And in Winnipeg, Canada is where we manufacture the Cowell brand of spiral silencers. Knoxville, as I mentioned, is where we manufacture catalyst substrates, and then coat those substrates, and also coat ceramic substrates for use in our systems around our facilities. And in St. Paul at Airsonic, we also manufacture catalyst housings there, SCR housings, heat exchangers, exhaust silencers, really the full gamut of our product portfolio can be made in Germany. We have a lot of experience on various engines in the global market. This is just a small listing of the OEMs that we've worked with or brands that we've worked with in terms of silencers, emission controls, full-on piping systems. We have quite a bit of experience on probably the bulk of the engines that are produced out there, and some that aren't produced anymore. So I want to go and talk about our markets that we work in, and we'll jump right into that. We're basically in 4 different market segments: power generation, gas compression, our OEMs, and then industrial and marine. We'll go through what each one means to us. Power gen market really is that electric power generation, and that can be something as simple as a standby generator with a silencer on it, to a complex combined heat and power facility, including a greenhouse system to introduce exhaust and CO2 bearing exhaust into a greenhouse to enhance greenhouse plant growth. We're involved in engines from as little as 100 kilowatts up to 18 megawatts. So we really run the gamut. And we work with OEMs like Cat, Cummins, MTU, and that sort, as well as their dealer network and other engine packagers. So a lot of experience in acoustics, as well as various emission regulations around North America and globally. The gas compression market for us is really almost everything from the wellhead to the burner tip. So the field gathering, which are usually smaller engines, a lot of rich burn engines with 3-way catalysts, midstream and gas processing, as well as interstate transmission lines. And at the other end, we do a lot of work at storage facilities, as well as LNG facilities and gas processing plants. Pardon me. And again, these can be as simple as just little 3-way catalysts to large base-mounted things like in the bottom picture there, tall stacks, and Scott will talk about that a little more in depth. The gas turbine market for us really straddles power gen and gas compression. We have, worked in the turbine market for a number of years, going back to MIRATECH, on turbines that are in compressor duty and power generation duty, from as little as small 1,500 kilowatt aeroderivatives up to large frame machines like the picture here. And these are working on CO and hydrocarbons, formaldehyde, to reduce those and as part of the overall emission system on the gas turbines. And our turbine work is encompassing working with HRSG OEMs, turbine OEMs, as well as the aftermarket for replacement catalyst testing, and lifecycle management. In the industrial market, a lot of this for us is non-engine silencers. So silencers, intake and discharge silencers for things like vacuum trucks with the vacuum pump, stationary positive displacement blowers for various applications, like material conveying or high volume air requirements in a plant, to vent silencers such as blowdown silencers for gas compression stations, or vents or relief vent silencers like on a steam plant or some other kind of plant. This is a growing market niche for us and an important part of our global strategy. Then in the marine market, this for us is inland waterways, hovercraft, as well as some blue water machines, mostly silencers. We also, though, do diesel particulate filters for auxiliary generators, mostly on smaller marine craft, as well as diesel oxidation catalysts on those same kind of vessels. We maintain a number of certifications for the silencers, such as DNV and ATEX, that are required in a lot of instances, depending on the agency certifying the boat. And then last but not least is our OEM market, which of course straddles all of the other markets. So we work with tier one engine manufacturers and other manufacturers on silencers, accessories, catalyst systems, thermal management of those systems, piping systems for their product. We have a dedicated OEM team that just works with the OEMs and works through the engineering and acoustics process with them to make sure that they get the system that they want for the machine that they're building with that engine. So across the bottom are just a few of the OEMs that we work with, and we'd be pleased to work with you on your project as well. So that wraps up the markets and the company overview. I'm going to turn it over to Scott McBride now to dig more deeply into the product offerings that we have. Scott, you can take it away.
Okay. Thanks, Nick. Again, appreciate everyone's time. We'll spend a little bit of time here in the slot we have trying to capture a broad range of our products in a short period of time. So this will just be a snippet of the highlights of the product range. But I kind of like to start this series just with a little overview, and it kind of goes from a left to a right manner. You'll see on the left we have the silencer systems, and then in a combination with catalyst systems, and all the way over to the far right of the complex systems. In the lower right corner, we make all the way up to a active DPF integrated tier 4 system. So we really can cover an entire range of products that can cover anything from a very simple silencer to a very complex emission system. With the time we have, I'll spend a little bit of time just talking about acoustics and emissions On the silencer side, a complete range of these products, anywhere from 20 to, Nick mentioned, 18, 20,000 horsepower type applications. What's nice is these are really well-engineered products. They're designed to meet a full range of attenuation from, let's say, industrial at 12 dBA up to 60 dBA reduction, which is probably louder than what I'm speaking at right now. As Nick mentioned, we have in 2015 acquired or worked with the EM and Cow brand product lines, brought them into the fold. These have been very well known and respected brands in the market for many years now, and you may know those names and come across them. Most of what we're doing too is applicable to just about any fuel source from an engine, be it diesel, gas, natural gas, biogas. On that silencer side, talk a little bit here, one slide on our Cow brand product line. This is actually made in the Winnipeg, Canada plant. Nice little product here, a very good attenuation, 22 to 38 dB. Very compact, 1/3 to 1/2 the weight of a conventional cylindrical silencer with a similar performance. And what makes this unique is it has a spiral chamber design with unique tooling that allows for a reversible flow. And we have a lot of design options. You'll notice that I think through this presentation, a lot of customization is possible. A lot of installations for this, because it's so compact, is usually going to be in marine or in the industrial space. And there's a picture right there on the bottom right of one installed on a marine application. Very common in the industry, the base will be our cylindrical silencers. This is an industry standard, very common, very, very well known. We make these up to about 48 inch in diameter, so 4 feet in diameter. The pictures you see there actually has a vertical installation. These are a combination of reactive and absorptive silencing features. We have a good range here as well, anywhere from 12 to 50 dBA reduction. Common terms you'll hear in the industry, industrial, residential, critical hospital, those types of terms. And these are all in our product brochure as well. Most of these can be custom designs. In the picture there, you'll see the one that has dual silencers. We can do carbon, aluminized, all the way up to stainless steel construction. This product in the US and North America is made in the Prior Lake, Minnesota factory. And Stefan will talk about the capabilities of these products in Europe as well. You move up the chain a little, you go into a disc silencer. The disc silencer is actually very good for where you have a quiet environment requirement, high level silencing, but you have a low profile and or maybe a containerized or enclosure application. So this is good where that space is limited. And you'll notice our range of dB goes up a little from maybe the 22 to 43 dBA because it's going to be more of a mid to higher spec type job. What's nice about this product, you can do some internal thermal and acoustical insulation. And then again, custom designs are possible. So there's a picture there for dual inlets. We can do different mounts, bottom mounts, top mounts, and the same thing with all the material classifications. And various flanges from very small 4-inch up to 24-inch flange sizes are available. Going up one more level then would be our oval silencers. And the oval silencer, what makes it unique is it's got a very low profile, but this allows us to really hit the high end, the highest levels of the sound reductions that are needed. So you'll see here we're more now moving up one more level to maybe a 28 to up to 52, 55 dBA reduction. And common terms will maybe hear it as an extreme grade acoustical design. These are well received in a lot of applications that are in either high spec, there's densely populated areas, data centers, mission critical facilities. This also can have a internal thermal and acoustic installation possible. And the same thing here, custom designs, all the materials, and a variety of the flange sizes are possible. So switching gears a little, Nick mentioned this earlier, we then have the whole range of spark arresting silencers. And this silencer is really meant to work environments that are going to be with potentially combusted materials. So what it does, this silencer forces an an action in the cylinder to separate the particles from the exhaust, and then these particles are actually removed with a spark at the cleanout. And no surprise, you know, you can see this marine, forestry, oil and gas platforms that we see, offshore platforms, any hazardous environment where the likelihood of a fire could be extremely dangerous or deadly. This is a great product for that and is almost always required for that. Therefore, we do have a wide range on the DBA, and this also will comply with various certification requirements that are needed, such as DNV offshore for marine or ATEX directives as well for spark arresting. And we offer this in the complete range from carbon steel painted black up to the stainless construction, and again the various flange sizes. Also made in the Prior Lake facility and can be replicated over in Europe. I'd like to point out, though, one of the things that really makes us, I think, unique is we do a lot of engineering and computer modeling on these designs. You know, there's a lot of companies around the world that maybe make silencers, but if you were to ask them, can they stand behind the DBA and the sound levels and step up for what, stand behind what they're engineering, that may fall to the wayside. We spend a lot of time in CFD modeling and analysis on any design we put out into the field. This just shows you an example of that. Even on just a standard cylindrical design where we take the model, we put in the acoustics into the model, and we do a complete analysis using a software called Systems, which is pretty well known in the industry for that. So there's quite a bit of engineering we put into the design. I'll switch gears a little bit again and go over to the emissions side of the business. These are our emission solutions, products, and systems. And I like this slide here because it really sums up how we bring it all together. We really pride ourselves in a complete solutions integration. We start with a base material catalyst, a substrate, be it a metallic substrate, flow through, cordierite, silicon carbide for filters, what have you. We work with those materials and in our Knoxville facility, which is the expertise in the catalyst formulations, and those folks work on the catalyst coating, and what I like to call the black art in the industry. This is truly what separates people in terms of their expertise and what works and what doesn't, because nobody can really see the emissions, you can only measure them. And we have an ability to then take those formulations, put them onto these substrates, and come up with some really high reductions. As you'll note, they're up to 99% in some cases. With that, then we're able to integrate that with our steel and fabrication expertise at our locations that were mentioned earlier in the U.S. This will be in Tulsa, in Germany, Sintal, Germany, and we make the housing. So now you got to put together the housings, the steel, different designs on low pressure drop designs, and most of these we have patents on as well. And then bringing it to the top level is the controls and the systems integration. And the controls are really the expertise that you bring when you've got to hit very tight emissions. So I'll hit a little bit on again, talking a little bit about the catalyst. You may have heard the name, the Beast product. We're happy to launch that a few years back, been well received in the market, a new design on this product, a metallic substrate type design, put on a turbulent foil geometry, really good product in terms of increased surface area, getting more precious metal onto the catalyst. That's really what it's about in terms of catalyst world. How much precious metal and wash coat can you get onto that catalyst while maintaining a durable design and low back pressure. And so this catalyst also has a 3-year performance warranty that we stand behind in the marketplace. But with that as the baseline, you then have to get that into a housing. So our IQ series housing, that we call it, is one that's really a standard in the industry. You take that catalyst now, and we build a design housing for this. This allows us to, again, apply pretty much to any fuel source, gas, diesel, biogas, landfill gas. Has a really good horsepower range, anywhere up to 8,000 horsepower. We've got thousands of these installed in the world, in the units worldwide. What's nice is with a single design there, you'll see it has looks like about 8 to 10 bolts on the top of the lid. You bolt those off, you pull out a callus. You can do a very quick turnover in a callus within hours. And this is really important to people that have a lot of prime running, and uptime is important in applications. And then right there you see the patent that we have on the unit. So not surprising, if you have a converter, the next thing you might want to do is integrate silencing with it. And we can do that with an integrated silencer callus converter combo, the R series. Again, I think this is really well received in the market. Usually if a customer will have a callus, probably in a location they're going to need some type of silencing. And this allows us to integrate both into one. Good acoustics range. We're looking more in the mid to high level, up to 50 dBA. And this can be applied to oxidation callus, natural gas three-way callus. Same thing with the materials. Materials can be carbon steel up to, we've done 316 stainless as needed for applications. And this also can be in a horizontal or vertical mount configuration with a variety of vertical mount support structure. I'll call it that integrated callus combo number 2. It's in our portfolio. This is called the Z series product. From the outside, it almost just looks like a cylindrical silencer, but it has a really unique design where we have slotted tracks for callus. This is going to be targeted to a lean burn natural gas engines and mid to high range horsepower applications. Very good dBA reduction. And what's unique here is actually we can install uncoated catalyst elements to reduce back pressure if needed. And so that can help us adjust some back pressure designs on the application. I find this design to be very good when you're looking at very tight CO or VOC targets. And so that will allow you to accommodate up to 6 catalyst elements to hit those targets. And again, it can be a horizontal or vertical mount with various material composition. If you go up to the top of the line, then in terms of size, we then have the ground access converter portfolio. This is a integrated silencing and emissions unit all in one for large base mount housing with an exhaust stack. This is really good on large horsepower engine applications, probably 2,500, 3,000 horsepower up to what you may see in large distributed engine plants that are putting in 10 to 20 meg engines each. They're going to need a very large stack like this anyways for the exhaust. Normally the exhaust output of those engines is anywhere from 10 to 15 feet above grade. You can see in the picture there, that's where the inlet is on this unit. We've made these up to 80 feet, 85 feet tall on projects when needed. And what's really good is you then have access to callus panels at ground level. So actually when the exhaust comes in, it's routed down to ground level in the design. That is where the oxidation function can occur for either CO or VOC reduction. And then we'll continue out to the top of the stack. We also can customize these when you're getting into this size. This is, you almost have to plan for airplanes, and we can put in spiral wings, lighting, platforms, and ladders as needed. Switching gears in. So we've talked about oxidation callus products. If I come over to our PM reduction product, the diesel particulate filter. This is a pretty popular product these days. Its main function is to capture the black soot. That's the PM that you see coming out of an engine, that black soot, up to about 95% removal. And this is going to rely only on exhaust temperature only. It's a passive device. There's no burners, heaters, additives, almost like replacing the muffler. There's an integrated oxidation callus to get you the hydrocarbon and CO reduction. Up to 25 dBA reduction possible. So a lot of times this is replacing a muffler and being put in place of. With that silencing, there's a data logger kit that comes with it as standard to record your inlet temp and back pressure. And in the US, we have this CARB verified in California, which is really good to have because that's actually one of the most strict requirements in the world. So if you have a project that they're looking for one of the best items, this is where you would normally look to see what's being done in California. We can offer that. And I think what really makes this one of the best is it's got the best in-class regeneration, which means it'll start burning off soot as low as 500 F 260C, which is more, could be in some cases only 10% engine load. So I'll finish up a little bit with 2 more products, one being on the SCR, selective callus reduction. You may know that term pretty well. This is going to target NOx only. So the other product we talked about, this is only for NOx in this product. And it's reduced by reacting it with a chemical, normally urea, in the presence of the catalyst. Urea is sprayed into the exhaust upstream of the catalyst. That breaks down into ammonia, and then you have a very high NOx reduction up to 98%. These SCR systems do have a pretty narrow or finite range of operation, about 600 and 900 F, but the good thing is almost all the IC engine work we do in the world is actually right in that range, so it works very well. And if you've got to remove other pollutants, such as the ones I mentioned before, you just can add those upstream before this system, and you would then, that actually is what builds up to what we commonly refer to as Tier 4 compliance systems. Probably the biggest eye chart in my presentation. This just quickly shows you a complete systems interconnect of all the equipment put together for the NOx only. So sometimes people ask, well, why are these systems so expensive? Well, there's a lot more that's going on here than just putting a catalyst into the system and injecting some urea. I mentioned earlier, the devil in the details is in the controls usually. And this is where we really bring the finesse of the controls. In the lower right, you'll see a control system. The red lines you see are the electrical. So this controller is kind of the brains of the operation, running everything. What's it running? Well, it's going to be running injection of urea. That's the blue line. It's going to be controlling air injection. That's the green line, and taking continuous feedback monitoring. So without going into those details here, there's quite a bit of componentry that supports the complete SCR system. And with that, just a few slides on the controller. The top of the line, we have the ACES 2 controller. This is really what can be for very tight systems. And if you have very tight ammonia slip requirement, this will measure the exhaust real time with electrochemical cells, and will then give you continuous feedback accordingly. This is usually for the larger than 1 megawatt engines. The mid-range, we have what's called the ACES 3 Lite, ACES 3. This can come in open or closed loop. Now we go into a NOx monitoring type system, and again, targeted for larger than 1 megawatt, where your requirements aren't as strict, so you can get a little bit of a better price break. And then down smaller engines, the newest addition is the ACES Blue system, which can be used with NOx sensors as well. And what I like about it, it's an airless, compact urea injection system, targeted to smaller engines, less than 1 megawatt. So a really nice, cost-effective offering for either a new install of a small engine or a retrofit of a small engine. Just finishing up with one last product on vapor phase to bring it all together. If you are running a prime running CHP type project, this is something that can take the energy that's being lost in that operation and recover that through either hot water or steam. And the bare-fired tube design is a lot like a standard boiler, and this makes it easy to be serviced by local shops. It's a two-path design, meaning that the connections are at the same end, so it's really easy for a piping layout in the design. And it's available with a bypass system that will allow you to bypass this system for service and go straight to an exhaust muffler. So with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague Stefan, a little late there in Europe, and he'll talk a little about what's going on in Germany. Stefan.
Yeah, thanks, Scott, a lot for the introductions. Good afternoon to all the attendees in the US side, and good evening to all the European sides. So yes, Europe. MIRATECH has been in the North America, as you have seen, for about 25 years and serving global players. So the question of why we need to go to Europe? Well, serving global players forced us and pushed us to do the best for these customers, for you guys, and so therefore we need to give a global service and be able to serve you in Europe as well. So MIRATECH had some product already in Europe, but just single products like the Kolb silencers, for example, or just only catalyst replacements, but we did not have the complete SCR, we did not have silencers. It was too complicated to ship silencers over the Atlantic. So yes, we needed to go to Europe. And voila, here we go. Perhaps. Again, yes, here we are. So yes, we wanted to go to Europe because we need to transfer our know-how, our support, and our success that we had and we still have in North America, in Germany. Actually, this is where we've been. So for this, we've been purchasing a company. And the company we did purchase last year, actually exactly 1 year ago now, is called AirSonic. AirSonic is based in Sintal. It's about 1 hour driving from Frankfurt. It's a company who have a very similar story as MIRATECH. They are born, both of them, around 1993, so 25, 27 years ago. They had the same story. They are both engineering company. Difference is that AirSonic started with the silencers, and then they did follow up the trend of cleaning emissions in the Europe, and so little by little they did include the sales of catalyst element, and then they went up making more complicated product like silencers integrated with a catalyst inside. They did some partnership with a German company as well to be able to sell exhaust heat exchangers. And lately they did start as well, of course, to reduce the NOx by using the SCR systems. So AirSonic, as MIRATECH, was selling a complete exhaust system from silencers, catalyst, and SCR. And this is where we had a perfect synergy with MIRATECH, of course. Another big synergy, as you can see, is when you look at the customer from MIRATECH they had in the US and the customers that AirSonic have in Germany, well, mostly the big names are the same. So this is where we can see that we can do a global service for all of you guys, whether you are, even with the language. You know, as you can hear, I'm not a US citizen. Okay, I'm French, so we can help you in French language. We can help you in Germany in German, and in Italy in Italian, and in Spanish if you want as well in Spanish. So this is also what I think a good service that we are able to offer. AirSonic was 100% focusing on the gas engines. So now with acquisition of MIRATECH, we will also be able to provide the diesel service, which AirSonic had not in his pocket. But now, thanks to the acquisitions, we are able to offer a much more complete service: natural gas, diesel. So every engine has its solutions to have a cleaner air. So here is a team actually to support you in Europe. I was saying that we can speak a lot of language. Actually, I just see now on the picture, I haven't realized we have one girl. Steffi, she's also able to speak Chinese. So we really have a great portfolio of language as well. So it's not only the products. So it's about 15 people in AirSonic. Sales people, we have one project manager, we have a full engineering and constructions departments who are doing the CAD drawings and so on. Of course, we've got the technical service support, which is very important when you deal with some product like SCR and you need to go on and do commissioning, stuff like this. And we've got our own warehouse in Sintal. So AirSonic, I was saying, Scott earlier was producing silencers, and the silencers that we are producing is made in Bulgaria. So we have a very long relationships with 3 guys, actually, 3 company in Bulgaria, and they are dedicating to silencers. We do work in a very straight relation as well with one German manufacturing site who is much more dedicated for SCR and oxidation catalyst housing, and this company is only 30 minutes driving from where we are in Sintal. And due to the booming of the market within SCR, well, we just recently did some other kind of partnership with a Swiss manufacturing site. He will be also dedicated for SCR and oxidation catalyst housing. And of course, as I was just saying previously, we have a warehouse in Sintal where we do have the typical replacements catalyst. We know that in Europe, price is important, but lead time is even more important. So one of our main goal is to have stock in the warehouse. So when you need a replacement catalyst, well, you have it. And same for housing. And this is a great news for us in Europe and for you as well, actually. In the US, one of our big success that brings MIRATECH was testing and washing the catalyst. So in the US, we have 7 service centers. So we can checked if your catalyst is still performing, and if it's still performing, then good news for you, you can reuse it and you don't need to buy a new one. And when we realize that your catalyst is not performing anymore and you might miss the next deadline of your control, then it's time to buy a new one, and we will credit you the PGM because we might be able to do the recycling. So this is something very unique, I think, in Europe, and this will be available in Sintal in our warehouse, I would say in October, November this year. And this is really something quite new for the European market. Here you can see some of the layout that Airsonic is designing, creating for his own customers. So just give us your specs, tell us which emissions you need to reach the space available, and we will work out together to find the best element and the best design to suit your needs. Of course, we do exactly the same with more combinations, silencers plus SCR. So for example, you can see downstairs, yes, I can play with my mouse here. You've got the primary silencers, and it's also the mixing sections where we are going to do the hydrolysis of the urea that Scott was talking about. Then we've got the SCR here. It goes down to the heat exhaust recovery, and it finished under the second silencers. So this is what Airsonic and MIRATECH are aiming for, not to sell you just one component, but to sell you the whole package of the exhaust. So you know this better than me because you are probably a lot of you living in the US, but in Europe it's coming big as well. It's data centers. Data center is a booming market in Europe, mainly in London, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, and Paris. And of course, MIRATECH being one of the leaders in the US within the data centers, a lot of experience, whether on SCR or DPF, more than 250 units installed across North America. This will be a huge help for you to have the perfect product and on the correct applications within the data centers in Europe. And actually, we just sold the first one in Paris, and I'm glad to hear this, for a data center in Saint-Denis, exactly, or 10 kilometers from Paris. Still nice place. So just in summary, we have MIRATECH, we have Airsonic. So our goal is really to give you the complete package. As you see, it's going from emissions control, exhaust heat recovery, silencings. If you need the piping, we can do the piping. If you need the skid, because we don't know how we are going to fix this on top of your container or on your engine, we are going to work together and to make it happen. And the unique thing about MIRATECH at the end is that we own the responsibility of our products, but we take the complete responsibility, whether it's back pressure, acoustic performance, or emissions. We will guarantee you that the systems will work and will be adapted to your needs. So I will pass on my words to Chase. Don't hesitate to ask any questions by email. Send us your request. We are here to help, to give you some advice. So Chase, it's all for you now.
Yeah, Stefan, thanks a lot for that. I think it was very well said. I'm going to take the mouse back from you. So I've got it. So look, we ran a couple minutes over. That happens when you have a lot of things that you want to say, right? We have our great customers and industry partners on this call. Thank you so much for taking 47 minutes out of your busy schedules to join us today. We hope to hear from you soon. Again, in summary, we wanted you to learn who we are and what we do. And so we really told you about our history, and then we told you about the products, services, and applications that we can solve and provide. And that's really the compelling value proposition of the MIRATECH team. So again, on behalf of the MIRATECH team, thank you very much for your time. Please visit our websites, miratechcorp.com and then air-sonic.com. Follow the MIRATECH Corporation handle on LinkedIn and sign up for our free monthly digital newsletter on our website. It's called the Emissions Monitor, and you can get that once a month. So again, thank you very much. At this time, we're going to sign off. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and mute, and everyone have a great day.